Hey everyone, welcome to Ride Fearless. I'm here with NFR qualifier and futurity champion, Stephanie Fryar. Steph, tell us a little bit about the horses that you have on the road with you right now.
I mainly have 3 horses. Got some stricken French that I call Frank. He's my Derby horse this year. He's really shined in a lot of the rodeos also. I have stricken by the fame that his barn name is Romeo. And he is who I've run at San Angelo, a bunch of the other rodeos and won on. And then I've got the red Maserati, Mozzie, and she has run at the WCRA finals at AT&T and other events too.
How did you end up with such a great team for this year?
So it's a really God story, I guess. I had sold the red Maserati and had sat at home, was riding colts, doing my thing, and I didn't have anything to compete on. Well, I started going stir crazy, and I ran across Streaking by the Fame Romeo, who is by Dash to Fame out of a Streaking 6 mare. Well, that purchase led me to meet a kid named Corbin Pinion. He is who owned some Streaking French, Frank. He started coming down, riding with me. It rolled into his maturity year. He'd taken him to Oklahoma City. Well, about February, he decided he was going to put him up for sale. And so I told him, really, you shouldn't sell your horse. And I really want your horse. So anyways, this rolled on for probably about 30 days or whatever. And finally I was like, okay, I want Frank. And so anyways, we ended up doing some trading, and Frank has just fit my program and I love him. He's so much fun.
What did you end up trading for him?
I gave him the free option of all the colts that I had. And he, of course, chose my traffic guy out of my NFR mare, Selena.
Like you could have anything.
On right now, so I'm super excited.
That is so cool. I'm so happy for you. I am inspired by all the women who go out there and follow their dreams and do whatever it takes to get there, especially ones that help others while they're on the road. And that's always who you have been. So thank you so much for being such an inspiration to the entire barrel racing community.
Thank you.
Thank you. You did really well at San Angelo. So I'm going to share my screen and kind of show everybody your run. Can you chat us through this run there? How did this run feel to you and kind of
real fast and a little wild? The first barrel kind of snuck up on me and we just barely squeaked past it. I got a little tipped over.
No.
He just smoked it, and the rest of the road, all I kept thinking was just look past and don't drag them down.
I mean, this is such a wicked run, and the fastest runs never actually feel that great, but you can tell that this horse is truly moving, and I love watching both your horses. I'm super excited for your entire year, and you've always been somebody that I've watched in the warm-up pen and working your horses, and it seems like you take a lot of time with your horses. You don't really let anything get to your head. You're all business. You know, you're there for your horse. You do your job. I mean, you're doing whatever it takes to get around them here, and you're truly just enjoying the ride.
Yes, ma'am. That was fun. I came out miles ear to ear.
I'm just so pumped for you. I really am. So what made you want to get back out there and start rodeoing after all these years?
The first thing was watching like the WCRA. Their events pay so good. And then of course you can't ever let go of the NFR dream.
Yeah.
I always wanted Selena to get to go back again, and injuries just didn't let that happen. But God's given me a chance right now. I've got 3 amazing horses, and let's ride the journey, see what happens.
Your favorite drill is that you use to keep your horses fresh on the road and working?
So Romeo doesn't really have the the calf horse breaks.
Mhm.
Romeo runs Mach 9 and falls across.
Okay.
So like the way that I work him, we just really have 3 rules. And that is, if I do this, pick up your right lead. If I do this, pick up your left lead. And if I do this, go straight.
Okay.
Kind of my 3 rules. And the biggest thing with him is all I work on is his hip.
Mhm.
Because if his hip is underneath him, he cannot drop his shoulders.
And this is what you were teaching me.
That's my biggest deal is if they are square and their butt is underneath them, or even to the inside, that tiny bit, the shoulder cannot drop.
Mhm.
If their hip is to the outside is when their shoulders can drop.
And he naturally wants to keep his feet moving then. So if you
Yes.
have your hip to the inside and he keeps his feet moving, then he's continuously driving. Have
Right.
you been on one that does it like you have their hip to the inside, but they just want to stop their feet?
That's Frank.
Okay.
The biggest thing with Frank that I do is I actually make Frank hold his hip
Mhm.
all the way from point 1 to point 2, point 3, and then I turn it loose.
Uh-huh.
And that way, when I run, he's thinking, just keep driving.
Mhm.
And so I can run up there and I can actually turn that hip loose when I'm holding, like I hold square. And like if he sets early and like stops moving his feet, I can just reach and grab with my feet and push him forward. And then the second that I release out, then he's thinking turn.
Oh, okay. So you're squeezing with your feet and driving up underneath you, and then you let go, and that's his cue to just go ahead and come back.
Pieces to they can go and turn.
I love that. We need to ride together again because my issue, like what holds me back is that I will do way too much of something, right? Like I love a round horse, but I've always had the track horses, that my dad brings home, and it's just like, here you go, train this one. And they're always stiff, right? So, but then I get them too round, and then I have that problem of, keeping them square enough to continue to drive around it like your horses do. And I love the way your horses run. It's so fun.
And another drill that I do, like warming up, just to make sure that my shoulders and my hips are working, is I lope squares, and then I'll pick my inside hand up and make them sit there and lope really round. And then I pick that outside hand back up and I square, and then I counter arc, and then I go back round to where they're listening to what I'm asking, whether I'm sitting like this to go forward, or whether I'm sitting like this, which means
go
keep moving forward.
Right here, I'm going to go inside. Outside. Just make sure that they're driving all the way through the turn and back to the inside. Outside. Back to the inside.
It to where when I sit and release, that outside rein comes across their neck and brings them around.
I love that. I love that idea because what you're saying, when you sit and release, your horses are taking that step across.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of probably where I'm running into a problem is I sit and release, my horses stay square and shut down this way. Well, then they're stopping their feet. So that makes sense.
I'm a big, I work squares, not so much round circles. I tend to want them to push them, not pull. So the square is more what I really work on, of driving from the hind end, shoulders up, and follow the nose.
I love that. And I love watching your horses work because they all want to really work on their hind end. Like you said, they keep their shoulders up, and then that gives them the power to really leave a barrel. Do you
Yeah.
think that is the difference between having an elite horse versus just a top 1D horse?
I think every horse has its style, and some horses are going to tip over more than others. But at the end of the day, I strongly believe there are 4 points around the barrel, and the horse needs to hit all of them.
Once I make sure that they do that, then I'll do my lopes of square circles. And main thing that I'm looking for is the inside leg hind leg down and the shoulders coming around.
At the end of every episode, I always ask what your fearless quote is, and what would your fearless quote be this year?
Never give up.
Thank you.